Adam told me he was a poker pro. He made 500 grand or so in early 2000s.
I call it the Aikido trading method because I'm familiar with the martial art. And what the martial art is about is using your opponent's strength against them. And that works well with trading.
When I look at my top losses on my journal, 4 out of the 10 top 10 losses are all Chinese. I'm like, man, if I just take this out, I'm $500,000 up and less stress. It's just crazy.
It's all about following the method. That's how you find success. You got to be, follow the method and do what's right with the method.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's David, aka Reverse Long, coming at you live from the Friendly Bear Conference here in Los Angeles at the City Club Los Angeles. And yeah, we got a lot of people here. This is actually the day before the conference. We just finished a live trading workshop, the second one in a row, the second day of live trading. And tomorrow's a big day. Tomorrow is going to be like 200 people, 200 plus people here. It's going to be a lot. And we got Tom Hougaard, we got everybody here. Anyway, today, second day of live trading, when we decided to do this podcast now that we had scheduled in, because Adam flew all the way from Puerto Rico to be here. So, and yeah, he rented a nice car, a Rolls Royce. He rented a Rolls Royce, man, going big.
Yeah, staying at the 5-star hotel, Intercontinental.
Blocks away. Yeah, absolutely. But in Puerto Rico, as beautiful as an island as it is, and they got a lot of rich traders over there. You can't drive a Cullinan in Puerto Rico, no?
I don't know. I mean, maybe that was somewhere.
Is it potholes? They got potholes.
Not
Not that you can't drive it there. It's just like the roads are gonna break the car, you know. So I used to. That's the reason why I said it. But like, yeah, I lived in Puerto Rico almost over a year, right, a year and a half, back in 2021 to 2022, and I went there. I wanted to be around traders, and of course, the tax incentive to be there is cool. But I wanted to go there to learn more, and it was a goal that I had. And when I went over there, I signed up to trade at like a co-working office space for traders there. In Puerto Rico, there's a lot of successful traders. When you go to Puerto Rico, most of the traders are successful. So because they're going there for a reason. It's for the tax incentive. So that's the majority, and it's a hub for traders. Anyway, when I was there, right next to me, I was there for like a month or two, and then lo and behold, Adam signs up for the desk next to me, and we end up, trading side by side for about more than a year, probably. So more than a year, and I started a podcast over there, the Friendly Bear Podcast, this podcast, and Adam was one of my first guests. So if you go back to that first podcast, if you click oldest video, you're going to see like the first 10 or whatever, Adam is in there. And when I'm doing that video, I'm also getting to know Adam because I only know him for like a couple of weeks at that time. So when you watch that video, remember that. And I still remember that interview because Adam told me he was a poker pro. He made 500 grand or so in the poker early 2000s, and then he tried to trade, and then like he couldn't make money. Then he kept trying, and then he worked for Martin Shkreli, which is crazy because Martin Shkreli got out of jail like a couple years ago or like a year ago, and now he's like wreaking havoc. And
he's back trading.
He's back trading.
He's out of jail.
Yeah. So it's crazy how it comes full circle,
Yeah.
And then Adam said, I think in that podcast, he's like, yeah, Shkreli, he said I was the low guy in the totem pole, and so I got to earn my stripes and all that, So like, that's a cool podcast. So like, that's one of the reasons why I created the Friendly Bear Podcast, because I wanted to get back then, especially in Puerto Rico, I wanted to get to know the traders, and I interviewed them, and I learned a lot. But yeah, man. So with that, Adam's here. He's gonna be speaking tomorrow. And Adam, so you mentioned about Aikido trading. I think it's really interesting. You were explaining it to someone today about like using their energy and their force against them. And yeah, you want to touch into that? Let's talk about it.
This is a trading method. I refined over the years, like since I started being profitable, and I keep improving on it. And it's all about following the method. That's how you find success. You got to be, follow the method and do what's right with the method. And I call it the Aikido trading method because I'm familiar with the martial art. And what the martial art is about is use your opponent's strength against them. So if somebody comes after you, then you like, let's say someone tries to punch you, you grab their fists and flip it around on them, and then flip them. So their aggression actually works against them. And that works well with trading. For example, like if stocks spiking up because the people are buying it too aggressively too long, that's that's aggression, unnecessary aggression, and then you can short it, and then when it comes down, they're actually selling. The longer you're actually selling, so you're using their aggression against them. And also, Aikido it's like a martial art where you're like one with the universe. You're in harmony with the universe. It's very Zen. And so with the Aikido trading method, we aim to be in harmony with the stock market. We don't want to go against the stock market. Even if we might disagree with the stock market at times, we want to do what the stock market wants, and that's how we will make money from the stock market.
I see. So it's like you're not trying to fight it.
Yeah.
You're trying to go with it, like it being
in sync with the stock market.
Yeah.
It's like you're going to be in sync with the universe.
Yeah.
It's like a very spiritual side. And with the Aikido trading method, and I'm going to be talking about it tomorrow, in a speech, there's the mind frames, strategy, and tactics. And you have to learn all that to be a successful trader.
So Adam, we did many podcasts over the years. So when did you start to really like refine this? Because I remember that first podcast you mentioned your dad is like a Zen Buddhist. You like to meditate, and you would meditate, and I would see. But like, when did you start to like refine it to like make it like a system?
Well, I'm turning the system, over the years, and I just named it this Aikido trading method. I put a name to it like a few months ago, and I just started a Discord community with it. But I think us learning together, learning how to short sell was very helpful, and that when we worked together at the co-working place for traders in Puerto Rico, and also I listened to what other people say. Like I had a mentor when I was a losing trader, I had a mentor who was a hedge fund analyst, and he would be like, "Yeah, I shorted this," and I was like, "Wow, like you shorted all those microcap stocks." And so then I started doing the same thing in shorting microcap stocks, and I had a lot of success. Now, I'm from a fundamental background because I was always a big fan of Warren Buffett, and I have my CFA designation. And so I'm very, I'm like an analyst, and that can work for me and against me. In the past, it's worked against me.
Yeah.
And now, I value technicals a lot more. So I combine both fundamental and technical analysis.
So see, like using the opponent's force against them. So like you as a fundamental trader, and this is interesting. So, okay, so if you're coming in with fundamentals and a stock is squeezing and it doesn't make sense, and you don't have the Aikido method, you're fighting the stock.
Yeah, I learned that the hard way because, the Chinese stocks, like, starting at the top back in 2023, it went from $5 to $250 in one day. I was so fundamentally biased. I thought, well, this is going to come back to fair value eventually. It's just going to be a temporary blip. But if someone's manipulating it and taking it,
it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Nobody can short that. Nobody can hold that short.
Yeah.
It's just going to blow out everybody. And that's where sometimes fundamentals can work against you because the stock market in the moment isn't always fundamental.
Yeah. I remember that time, or I think later on, you've come up with rules like, okay, you got to know the players also. Know who's behind it. And this one had like some shady investment bankers and, some other players. The Chinese, of course, they have they can do whatever they want because they're in China. China's blocked out. Like the SEC can't go to China. No one knows who are the manipulators behind this. It's a pure boiler room scam. And how can you fight against that as a short seller? You don't stand a chance. So, I lost a lot on top as well. I think a lot of short sellers, I've heard a lot of horror stories on top, like for the amount that I lost or the amount that you lost, there's been a lot more bigger losses on that one. That one, I learned a lot from that one, and that one helped me adjust my rules to just black out the Chinese stocks. And the reason why, some people think that that's the only Chinese stock that specific one got me to make the rule. But actually leading up to that one, I had lost like on 3 Chinese stocks before that. And I remember the first one was actually right next. You and I were. I don't know. I don't think you had took a hit on that one like I did.
Pets.
Pets.
Yeah.
You knew right away. Yeah. Yeah. We both shorted that on fundamentals because they did an offering like 80 cents.
Yeah.
And then China, whatever, they hijacked the float and send it to $9.
Yeah, and that's what we learned. Like you're like, hey, but they did offering 80 cents. How can it go to $9? Like because it was trading at $2, and then they did offering. Maybe it was at 40 cents. I don't remember, but it was fall at first, and then just kept going higher and higher.
Yeah, it was 80. I remember this one, man.
Very clear.
Yeah.
And we never saw that before, but then just recently, QMMM they did an offering like 40 million shares at 20 cents. And it went to 300.
Shit. Oh, I didn't even look into that one. Wow,
yeah,
really?
They did 40 million shares at 20 cents.
Yeah.
And it was at 300.
So see,
the SEC halted the trading.
That's why. So see, these days I just see China, and I don't even think further. But now that you brought it up, that is crazy. 20 cents? That's blatant. Now they're trying to go with quantum, so they're justifying the stock being up because of quantum. But if you do a offering at 20 cents, yeah.
It's crazy.
So from my experience too, so it's not only, I don't talk about Chinese stocks often because I don't even waste the mental power on it anymore. But now while we're on the subject, why not? So maybe it'll help someone that's listening. But like part of the strategy for me is first, I had the pets. I had several others leading up to top that I was like, when I look at my top losses on my journal, like on Trader Sync, you click the top losses, it's like 4 out of the 10 top 10 losses are all Chinese. I'm like, man, if I just take this out, I'm $500,000 up, overall profits. I was like, and less stress, which is crazy. So as with trading, you want more profits, less stress. It's pretty nice. That's the way it should be. So like whatever you can do to increase your profits and reduce your stress, that's a good concept to have. But with the Chinese ones too, not only do they squeeze and they're trying to kill all short sellers, but they're also at risk to indefinitely halt, T12 halts. So I was stuck in one, CO. It was a Chinese Cayman Island one. And actually, it was a good short. I was in the money, but they T12 halted it. And when they T12 halted it, like my money was stuck for almost a year. I think it was like 10, 11 months. And then it opened up, a lot lower. But I had to, my money was tied up. And if you're a profitable trader with edge, you don't want your money tied up. You want to be able to use that capital. So not only do you risk the squeezes and going losing a lot of money and possibly going negative on the account, but you also, I think all Chinese stocks, all Cayman Island Chinese stocks, all just Chinese stocks these days, they all are at risk. There's that 1% chance, that 0.5% chance that it might indefinitely halt. So that risk, you risk indefinite halt. Imagine. So I remember CO, I was like, man, they don't tell you how long it's going to halt for. I was like, what if this is people would forward me stories because they knew I was in this, trying to help me. And they were saying, look at this example. There's a stock that's been halted 5 years. There's a stock that's been halted 7 years. And I'm like, oh my God. What if this thing is halted for 7 years?
You paying the borrower all the time.
Well, I don't even know. I don't even want to know what happens then. I'm not going to ask my broker, hey, what happens if I'm stuck in a stock for 7 years of the borrow rate? That's not a question you want to ask. Yeah. So, but yeah, anyway. So Adam, enough about that. That's a good information though. Guys, use that information. But what about today's trading? What did you mentioned the NU AI?
Yeah, I love being with all the traders today because I learned a lot from everybody and I was able to teach people as well. And that's what I love about these kind of events, because everyone's looking to learn trading. Everybody's telling their story. And the guy that's in the Friendly Bear Discord, Mateo, he was talking about the NU AI, which to me it looks like a scam. Like just the name NUAI, new AI.
Yeah. But it's an energy company.
Well, it says it's energy and digital, so it's like they're energy, digital, AI, like a bunch of everything. But basically, what happened was, and it was interesting because we were looking at the chart. It ran up into October, so at the end of September, it like doubled, and then it came down a little bit. But it only retraced like a third of the way back down, and then it held there, and then today it just doubled, it like spiked up today. But looking at the daily chart, it was like a big green candle. But if you look at the like the 1 minute chart, just today, it started moving up after the open. So like before the open, it was flat. So right after 9:30, it started drifting up, and that's something that you might be able to identify as a good long, because it just sort of stepped up the entire day today. And so I actually longed it first, and then I got out pretty quick because it was coming back down. I didn't want it to go below my entry, so I kind of scalped along, and then it just kept going up. And then while I was stair stepping, it had an elevator move up, and then it retraced that elevator move. So that looked like it could have been the backside, but the fact is, it just had it was stair stepping, elevator up, elevator down, and then it continued to stair step. So it basically just gave back that elevator up. It just basically gave it back. So you could have shorted that elevator up, but then you had to cover after it gave it back.
What percentage was it up on the day at that point?
At that point,
It was 100%, I think, right?
No, the first elevator up, it was only up maybe 60%, 60, 70%. But then it stair stepped more, and then when it was up about let's say 80%, then it started coming back down, and that's when I shorted it. But then and then I was covering because it looked like the real backside there. So it was really coming down like hard, and then it had like a V-shaped recovery. It was a total V. Like you don't see that too often, because it came down sharp, and I was covering on the way down, and then it went back up sharp, and so I stopped out. I had a trailing stop to make sure I locked in my game. So I had a trailing stop, then got out, and then it made new highs. But then when I went over 3, it was up about 100%, and that's when it came down again. So like, I've heard some people say, I haven't studied this myself, but some people say like they shorted a shorter stock after it reached 100%. Like, have you noticed that?
Yeah,
After that,
it's fully extended, So a lot of times people know the 100%, but they don't have the patience to wait for 100%. So they short it, and it squeezes to 100%. And then there's the longs that long it, they profit take at 100%. So it's like, it's a psychological kind of thing as well.
Do you think people want to sell after it reaches 100%? They're kind of like, it's not going to get much higher.
It's a possibility. It's a possibility. When trading, a lot of it's psychological, like the dollar psychological number, the $5 psychological number, the round numbers, and then also the percentage. Because I know a lot of shorts enter at 100%, so that causes the stock to go down because the shorts are putting pressure. And I think the float wasn't that much on, or no, I think it was a decent float, right?
It's like a 30 million float.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty
so
big.
with a float like that, that's a chunk of supply. So then the shorts that come in, they're not gonna. It's a lower chance to get squeezed because the supply can absorb the shorts, and then it causes downward pressure. So I think the 100% up, it attracts shorts. The cavalry, it's like the cavalry has arrived, and they short it because and then longs probably profit taking at 100%, so
Yeah, and also there was no news on the stock at all. It's just, I think it was just up because it went up before, running up into October, and also there was something about energy today that energy stocks went up.
Yeah. I was busy giving tours of my office and doing like it's a lot going on. So I had a small trade in the morning. I already forgot. Oh, that SMCO? No. The one, that one was an energy one too, I think.
It looked like a water company or something.
A water company. Wastewater.
Oh, yeah.
Toilet water. So a toilet water company. I don't know. I didn't look into it. I just saw that the sector was wastewater. So sewage, I guess. But yeah, that one was the only trade I took. It was a good one. But this one, and when I saw NUAI and I was busy doing so many things, I didn't even think about that. That's where my mind was, when these events are great, but like I'm not fully focused. I was like AI. If I was at my desk, like in a quiet room, I would be like, oh, energy, AI, what's this going on? Then I would be chatting with you and chatting with, I'd be like, yeah, this is BS. Then we'll be digging into it really quickly. And then you have conviction and short, nice. But here, like, I couldn't do it. I was like, I just saw energy and I was like, is this a commodity company? Oh my God, I don't want to deal with commodities right now. Because the commodities, they can grind. Maybe Donald Trump said something about energy. Maybe there's some deal going on. There's some pipeline or something. But well, see, when it's energy and AI, that's a suspect.
It's sus.
Yeah, that's sus.
They're trying to get every hot sector and roll it into one.
Yeah.
I really think it's
like they're gonna do crypto, they're gonna do quantum, they're gonna do everything. Yeah.
Another trade today, BJDX. It had kind of weak news because they basically just expanded a partnership for when they sell their like medical device, like a diagnostic device, and it was actually a good short of the pre-market because it really spiked up like almost 200% in the pre-market, but it was only $4 stock with a 1.5 billion float, so you got to be a little careful because it's so small.
Yeah.
But I felt the news wasn't a big deal, and then at the end of the day, like during market hours, like about 3 p.m. today, they did an offering, like at a way lower price, and it said pipe offering, but I wasn't sure if part of the offering was registered or not, or also there were some previous warrants that might be able to get repriced based on the offering today. So I got to look more into that with dilution tracker. But maybe talk to Mateo about that. But so what happened was it fell because they announced the offering, and then it halted down. But then when it got halted, it spiked back up. It halted up because it was a pipe. So I was able to reshort it, and because I figured it would come. It ended up coming down, but only in the after hours. Came back down.
Yeah. Now, it came back down?
In the after hours. Like,
because
after hours, it stayed up.
Because a lot of these pipes, they have lockups. They can't, but you're saying, they're tricky. So from your experience, how many times do you see them like do a mixed offering?
See, they can do sometimes. Like if it's just a straight up pipe, like only a pipe, you got to be a little careful because they can't sell, and there is a chance that there's going to be a short squeeze. But in my experience, often it'll still fall eventually. Sometimes you just got to wait a little bit. Like, if you can short the pop after an offering, that's usually good. Like in my experience, you don't want to chase it because you got to expect there is going to be a pop. But if you short after the short squeeze pop, that usually works. If you're patient. But as far as the mix, it is tricky. I mean, sometimes they say like the stock is like registered, but then the warrants are not. So you gotta kind of read the fine print. This one was kind of confusing. I'm not sure.
Because I know a lot of traders, for example, they see on the headline, they say like exercisable immediately, but it's exercisable immediately, but it's not registered.
Yeah, so they can't sell.
Yeah, so there was one noob. I don't know what he's doing now, but he was arguing with me. I was telling him that it's not registered. He's like, no, it is. No, it's exercisable immediately. It's not registered.
Like there's the warrants all day, but you just can't sell the shares, so it doesn't matter. You don't need to exercise.
Yeah. So, but you see how this is like the fine print, you know?
Yeah.
Or like, what's another tricky fine print one? Like when they do a contract, it's like up to,
Yeah, like that. I don't even know, like you're talking about Chinese, but recently CJ was like, we're going to raise up to $1 million for crypto. And it was like, and then they did some like offering later in the day. They just totally, scammed everybody.
I know some Chinese here in LA, last year, they were bag holding CJ, so CJ, I think it was a Cayman Island one. I don't know what.
Yeah.
I was thinking actually at that time, I was like, maybe CJ's going to go be crazy because all these Chinese in LA are talking about it. But no, I think it just went down, right? It didn't do anything, but
it's just in trouble. I like that. In trouble.
What else, man? What are your plans for LA? You gonna take this car where are you gonna drive this thing?
Yeah,
this Rolls Royce, the Rolls Royce.
I've been out here. I've been meeting old friends. I actually be going on dates here. Like I want to, try to date LA women again because I used to live here like 15 years ago. I lived in LA.
Yeah.
So I met with a couple old friends. I've gone on like some dates. Like I tried a couple like Michelin star restaurants.
Wait, which restaurants?
It's one called Gwen, which is really good.
Where's that one?
It's on Sunset Boulevard.
Okay.
And I think it's actually.
So when you lived in LA back in the day, you were broke.
Yeah, so
you couldn't go to Gwen.
No, I couldn't try the.
Now you came back like a boss.
There now, no, I mean I can try any restaurant I want. Rent any car I want. So I just try the Rolls
What other restaurants are you gonna try?
I don't know.
Well, you're coming with us to Brazilian today, right? Yeah. But what other restaurants?
I don't know. I got to see which ones are available. But yeah, there's like a list of Michelin.
Yeah, there's a lot of nice restaurants, man. There's a lot of nice.
I really like the food here. Yeah.
The one in the Intercontinental where you're at, the rooftop's called the La Boucherie.
Okay.
So one of my first 10,000 plus days that I had, one of the first, I went to La Boucherie and I ordered a $500 tomahawk steak.
Nice.
And I ate the whole thing. It was crazy.
Yeah, I ordered like a $400 Wagyu steak, a ribeye at Gwen.
At Gwen, okay.
Yeah, it was delicious, man. It was like moist and soft.
The ribeye, was it the bone-in? The bone-in ribeye?
No, I got it without the bone.
Yeah. Wait, you said $400 ribeye?
Yeah.
Damn, nice.
Wagyu.
Yeah, there's also LA Prime right here across the street. That one was a good too. Okay. Yeah. Oh, you got all the
steakhouse.
Yeah, it's freaking awesome. It has a revolving restaurant. Yeah, you probably like it. And they filmed the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. I forgot which one. I don't know if it's Total Recall. Don't quote me, but it's the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger. He has a horse. He's a cop, and he jumps off the roof of the building. No, he takes the horse in the elevator to chase the bad guy, and then the elevator takes him to the roof. And then the bad guy disappears or something. No, the bad guy jumps off the roof into the pool, and then Arnold Schwarzenegger makes the horse run and jump off the roof into the pool to chase the bad guy, and then he catches him and like they. But like,
I remember that movie. Yeah, that's with Jamie Lee Curtis and Tom Arnold. I think that was like 15 years ago or something. 20 years ago,
yeah, man. It was a good movie.
I remember
so
that.
You can eat at the restaurant, but I don't think the horse and the Arnold Schwarzenegger really jumped. So the pool actually doesn't match. In reality, it's too far. But like in the movie,
But
it's Hollywood. But but yeah, that's about wraps it up, man. Busy weekend. What do you think of the conference and all this, man? Because like, did you picture me when I was in Puerto Rico to be able to do all this? I was a noob, right? Kind of. I wasn't that much.
I'm impressed. I mean, you got people from all over the place. Like, there's people from like Europe, like I from Hungary, flew out here. People from all over the world. I mean, I flew across the whole U.S. to get here. I mean, so you're getting a lot of people here.
Yeah, 22 different countries.
Wow.
So yeah, we got everywhere. Tomorrow is where the
200 people. That's sick.
Yeah, it's wild, man.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a lot of people. Yeah, you got to read my book. You're in the book.
Nice.
So Adam is in the book, but his name is another name. They wanted me to switch all the names up.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. So, but yeah, definitely check out the book, Short Selling Master. Definitely Adam had a lot of influence on how I trade, and he helped me out a lot with figuring out fundamentals. So yeah, anyways, guys, get the next conference if you can. This thing is amazing. And Adam, looking forward to you speaking tomorrow, and it's going to be good.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I'll see you later. Thanks, Adam.
All right.